recognized symbol of excellence in sports entertainment.
Hey, this is Kurt Angle. Welcome to the Kurt Angle Show. On the show today, we'll be discussing the build to Survivor Series 2002 and my three-way match for the tag titles. But first, let me introduce to you my co-host, Paul Bromwell. How you doing today, Paul?
Hey, Kurt, man, I'm doing great. Glad to be here. I think I'm still on a high from last week with Jay Lethal. Dude, I feel like we could spend hours with him, and if it wasn't for his PR guy, I literally think we would have. Okay.
You know what? We would have, because the kid tells incredible stories and he's funny as hell.
It was so good. I've seen nothing but great feedback on the show, and he shared some stuff that he hasn't shared before at all. And so, man, Jay, you have an open invitation from the Kurt Angle Show. We love to have you back.
He's a superstar in my eyes, man. He's incredible. Yes.
He is. He's a good dude. And you and I, by the way, cheap plug here for ad-free shows, we're going to do a bonus show, and we're going to watch that match of that you two did in 2007.
Oh,
where he beat you. Yeah.
When Jay beat me.
When Jay beat you, buddy. And you know what I realized? He had a nice full head of hair back then, but now he's rocking the Angle look.
He is. He's shaving bald, man. He got with it. He understands.
He understands that bald is beautiful, baby. And I should have a lot
of chicks with bald head.
Maybe you do. But listen, before we get started, I'm happy to share that today's episode of the Kurt Angle Show is brought to you by GEICO, who asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com to get a rate quote or contact your local agent and get started seeing how much you could save. Kurt, in last time we revisited 2002, that was, 20 years ago, which is just unbelievable how time flies. We covered you and Chris Benoit becoming the first Smackdown Tag Team Champions at No Mercy 2002. Well, buddy, we're now on the road to Survivor Series 2002 at Madison Square Garden, where it's going to be that three-team triple threat for the tag championships. We got you and Benoit, who you've talked about over and over again. You loved fighting him as a competitor. You loved tag teaming with him. You guys are taking on Edge and Rey Mysterio. By the way, two guys that we've had on this show in the past, so jump in the archives to listen to those interviews, as well as that third team, Eddie and Chavo Guerrero. And are you ready to dig into this today, bud?
Yes, I am. I'm excited. It's the Smackdown 6.
It is. So here we go. The first Smackdown after No Mercy takes place in Memphis. Stephanie's going to present a trophy to you and Chris Benoit for becoming the first tag champs. And, well, I don't want to spoil it, pal. We're going to watch and we're going to check out what happened. It's the clip from Smackdown, October 24th, 2002. For those that want to go back and watch the full show, we have the clip right now. Let's check it out.
Stephanie, I'd just like to say how right you were to force me to set aside my personal differences with Chris Benoit so I could single-handedly lead my team to victory at No Mercy. Wow. You know, as captain of this team, it is my pleasure to accept this trophy. And I'd like to assure my partner that this trophy will be set aside of my Olympic memorabilia on my wall of fame at home. Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
Kurt said he's the captain of the team, Cole.
Single-handedly, I think Benoit had something to do with the victory.
He's the captain.
Angle, the next time you come out here, you leave that Olympic-sized ego of yours back in the locker room. Because out here, everyone knows there's only one captain, and that is me. Let's get it straight. We wouldn't have won these titles if it wasn't for me. And you're damn lucky Stephanie made that stipulation between us. As if she hadn't. I'd have kicked the hell out of your Olympic ass. Listen here, Mr. Toothless Aggression. I won the freaking match. I did. Therefore, I'm the star, and you're the supporting player. The trophy's mine, all mine. Give it to me. Take your damn hands off that trophy, or you will eat it. So, that's so. Really? That trophy ain't got a shot. See what you did? See what you did? You okay? You know? Steph is good.
Hey, Kurt's groggy now.
What? That's his tail off.
Children. And if the two of you, look what you did to this trophy. If you two can't get along, then we're gonna settle this the old-fashioned way, in the ring. Kurt, tonight it will be you, Kurt Angle, one-on-one against Chris Benoit.
Oh, yeah, but they're partners. That's cool, man. That's a big.
And the winner of that match will get to keep this stupid broken trophy. Knuckle, get ready.
Buddy, she slapped the shit out of your face.
Oh, she knocked me out, man. I mean, Stephanie
Wow.
has the worst slap in the history of the business. She's the one you do not want to take a slap from.
And I mean, your face is red, and you can see it post slap. And then I don't think she gave it as hard to Chris as she did you because of the angle she was
hit
coming
Chris
at.
with her finger. She hit me with her palm.
Hell yeah.
She palmed the shit out of me.
Man. So there we go. We saw her take the bump with the trophy. The trophy breaks. You and Benoit, you get the shit slapped out of you. And you guys are now facing each other later on in the show. I want to read what Dave Meltzer has to say. He said, Benoit would pin Angle in a great match, although not as good as their match at Unforgiven. It went 12 minutes long. The Guerreros interfered, helping Benoit, but Benoit didn't see it, and pinned Angle to win the broken trophy. Yippee, yippee. Angle laid Benoit out with an Angle slam after the match, and Kurt smashed up the trophy completely. Hey, did you go to GEICO.com yet? How different, Kurt, is it putting a TV match together compared to a pay-per-view match like this?
Well, for the most part, it's, your TV matches are going to be a lot less time. The average TV match is between 5 and 12 to 14 minutes if you're main eventing. But a pay-per-view match, the average matches, even opening card matches, are 12 to 15, and you can go up to 25 to 30 minutes in the main event. So I think it's just more, it's a longer match at the pay-per-views. So you have to add a little bit more in the match and have you have to have the same psychology though. You have to tell the same story with both sides. But for the pay-per-view matches, it's a lot longer.
That and the psychology may be a little different because you don't want to give everything away, that you want to still build to that conclusion of what's going to happen at the pay-per-view.
The granddaddy, You're right.
Yeah, there you go. Well, listen, immediately after that SmackDown taping in Memphis, the SmackDown crew goes straight to Europe for a 4-day tour. So that sounds like a lot of fun travel. Night 1 is in Helsinki, Finland, with you and Chris defeating the Guerreros. Then night 2, you're over in Belfast, Northern Ireland. This time you and Benoit defeat Edge and Mysterio. And night 3, UK only Rebellion pay-per-view, Kurt, from Manchester against Eddie and Chavo again. But man, when you guys went overseas, it wasn't just a futz around and enjoy, take a tour. Like you said before, Paul, I never got around and got to see the wonders of the world.
Right.
When we flew around, we were working. And here's another example. You flew around and boom, boom, boom. You guys are wrestling night 1, night 2, night 3.
We were only in that city just for the match, and we moved on to the next city. Yeah.
Well, listen, so Dave had some comments to write about that show. He said the show there, the Rebellion pay-per-view for Manchester, was threatening to be something awful until Angle and Benoit beat Guerreros in 20 minutes and 15 seconds. Benoit and Angle worked the match as babyfaces, but Angle was the star of the match. Here goes more of that Meltzer love for Kurt Angle. It was to the point that when Benoit was in the ring, the crowd was chanting, "We want Angle." I mean, I'm not making this up, Kurt. They loved you. Angle was Angle was described as the only wrestler on the show who came across like an, ready for this, Austin level star. That's what they called you.
Why isn't it an Angle level star?
Buddy, you should have just hung out in WWE longer, okay? That was the problem.
You're right.
Eddie appeared to get his bell rung early in the match. He laid outside the ring for a few minutes, but seemed to have recovered by the end of the match. Benoit and Angle teased the breakup, and there ended up being a ref bump. Chavo hit Angle with one of the belts, but there was no ref to count the pin. When the ref recovered, Angle would then pin Eddie with the Angle Slam, and he gave it 3 3/4. What do you remember about this? Were you surprised you were able to get such a massive reaction in England?
Well, first, Eddie getting his bell rung, he was out for a while. We were concerned about him. We were just happy that he was able to come back and join back in the match. And he made that match an incredible match. 3 3/4 stars for Meltzer. That's really good. But the fans were awesome. Thank you so much. The fans over in London, just the way their reception to me and the way they welcomed me and made me an Austin-like
Austin level, baby.
Austin level. It was awesome. I mean, when you have fans doing that's why you're in the business. It was an overwhelming thing, and I got chills that night. I had chills the whole time wrestling because they kept chanting, "Let's go Angle." And it was really cool. And thank you so much, London.
Man, that's so cool to hear. Listen, the UK fans are just next level. They are a rabid fan base. So many great shows over there. Even when you went over with TNA,
Oh yeah. You know what? TNA, that was our biggest arena, the most seats. I think we did like 10,000 in the UK, and in the United States, the highest I think we did was maybe 7,000 or 8,000. But in the UK, we always did really well.
Psst, hey, go to GEICO.com. Pass it on. Dude, these European tours have been known to have been, let's just say, a little rowdy, okay? So what was so different about the European tours compared to American house show loops? Why were they kind of next level when it came to that rowdy behavior, you think?
Well, I'm not gonna
He said admit.
I'm gonna tell you, they are very passionate. They're loud and rowdy and incredible. But you have to remember, we're in the United States for 95% of the shows. We're going to go to each city 3 or 4 times a year. We only go to Europe once or twice a year. So we only hit that. And when we go twice a year, we hit different cities or different countries. So they don't even get to see us that much. And I think that's the reason why they're so passionate, is because they only get to see us once or twice a year, and that's it.
What about you as performers, you as wrestlers getting out and about? Do you feel like you guys are a little bit more rowdy on the tours overseas than what you were here in the U.S.?
Yeah, you know what? Because the fans are so amped, and you want to perform for them for the best that you can. And when they respond, like the whole show was just loud as hell. The fans never stopped cheering. And when you have that kind of atmosphere, you want to even do better.
Well, Kurt, the final show is Sheffield the next day. You and Benoit defeated Edge and Mysterio one more time. And you guys don't even get a break. You fly from the UK straight to TV in Grand Rapids for the Halloween edition of Smackdown. They have this whole special Halloween party going on in the back while the matches are going on. And you cost Benoit his match versus Edge. And Benoit cost your match versus Eddie. I mean, this is all part of the stories. And, buddy, we have clip 2. This is October 31st, the Halloween party. I can't wait to watch this one. Let's check it out.
The personal animosity between tag team champions Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit exploded. Oh, you ain't kidding. And after this, Chris Benoit
Benoit just got thrown out of his rhythm, couldn't get back into the groove. Had the match won, and then right here you see Edge. Bingo! Big time spear.
Yeah, Edge would capitalize, but Kurt Angle got what he wanted. He screwed Chris Benoit out of a victory in this matchup. And look at Angle laughing about it.
Big kick out of it. Big kick.
You seen Angle? No. Huh? You seen Kurt Angle? Angle! The hell are you laughing at, boy? Angle! Angle! Angle!
And what happened at the end of the matchup?
Kurt Angle right here to trouble. But Chris Benoit taking advantage of the already groggy. Oh, Kurt Angle.
Shot to the head. Well, it originally seemed to me, Taz, that Chavo Guerrero ran interference for Chris Benoit. Off the front splash, Eddie picked up the win, but then Benoit would lay out Eddie Guerrero, and then Chavo Guerrero. I have no idea what's going on.
Well, I do. Anybody that gets in the way of Chris Benoit, no matter if it's his partner or not, Benoit's going to take him down.
Everybody living it up, having a great time. Shut up. I just got my head taken off by my freaking own belt, by my freaking own tag team partner. That's real great. Having a good time, aren't you? Oh, having a great time. Great costume. No. Everybody live it up. Live it up. Have a good time. Hold on a second. Nobody goes anywhere till I find Benoit. You stay here. No. Stay right here. Benoit! Get in here. Get in here. Benoit! Shut your mouth. Benoit! Oh, that's a real good one, Benoit. Really funny. Like I never seen that one before. You think you're so smart. Why don't you face me man to man? Huh? I love you.
Hey! Benoit from behind! Benoit and Angle! Bobbing for apples.
Party begins!
Well, ain't nothing funny about this. These two men are the tag team champions.
And they can beat the hell out of each other because this isn't in the confines of a tag team matchup. Oh, God!
Holy cow. Man! Crossface now.
Now look at the crossface. These men are tag team champions together. Now they're beating the hell out of each other.
Angle with the ankle lock. Ankle lock.
Come on, Benoit! Come on!
His personal animosity is exploding between these two.
Get it! Let's go, Chris!
Ankle slam. Benoit's out. I think Angle got hit in the head with a bottle of cider. I seen something hit his head.
The tag team champions have destroyed each other.
That's what you call crashing a party, pal. So first of all, you in the Scream costume, that's kind of fun.
It was fun, man. You know what? This is great. I mean, the whole reason why I think they did the Halloween party is so Benoit and I could hide from each other and go in costumes, you know? I thought it was brilliant.
So for those of you that are listening only, Kurt's in the Scream outfit in the first clip. Second clip, Kurt comes in the room. He's trying to fish around and find out where Chris is. There's another guy in a Scream outfit, but buddy, it ain't Chris Benoit. He unveils it to be none other than Brother Love. That's right, Bruce Pritchard from Something to Wrestle. Right here, our buddy from Ad Free Shows with the I Love You. And then a hell of a beatdown goes on. But buddy, you took out the light in that at the end. That could have been nasty.
Oh, it could have been nasty. We could have gone blind, to be honest with you. I mean, that light exploded, man. It went everywhere, but nobody got hurt, thank God.
Let me spell it out for you. That's GEICO.com. That's GEICO.com. Listen, from Dave Meltzer, he has a recap of all this. He says, Edge pinned Benoit in 13 minutes in the best match on the show. The Meltzer love continues. Benoit had the crossface on Edge when Angle came down. They started arguing, and Edge drop kicked Benoit into Angle. Edge went for a plancha on Benoit, but he moved, and Edge wiped out Angle. Edge won with the spear. Cena was dressed as Vanilla Ice at the party. There you go. That makes a lot of sense. Apparently, this was really good. Benoit was looking for Angle, but couldn't find him as Angle was hiding, like we said, under the Scream match. And then later on, Eddie Guerrero pins Angle in 15 minutes when Benoit hits Angle with one of those tag belts. Started slow. Lack of heat was disappointing, but Meltzer was told it was a great match. So there we go. Thank you, Dave. There was some chance for Angle, but the crowd really wasn't behind him. Well, screw you, crowd. You need to be behind your Olympic hero. Benoit attacked both Eddie and Chavo after the match. Back at the party, here we are. We're moving and grooving. This time, Angle wanted to find Benoit, which we saw. He sees a guy with a Scream mask, thinks it's Benoit, pulls it off. It's Brother Love. Benoit then jumps Angle. Angle gave Benoit the Angle slam, but Benoit's head hit a low overhead light and broke it. It looked scary, glass falling everywhere on their faces. This was the saving show, by the way, for John Cena and his career. Is that correct? Because that's what rumor and innuendo says, giving him this kind of rapper gimmick.
Yes. Vanilla Ice saved his career, man. And don't get me wrong, John Cena, I think he would have panned out either way.
Yeah.
Even if he was just John Cena. But the rapper thing really exploded him. He came out of nowhere and he became a huge star overnight.
Tell me what you thought about the whole Halloween party gimmick. Did you enjoy that kind of bend and creative?
Yeah, you know what? It was Halloween. It was the week of Halloween anyway.
Right.
And like I said before, Chris and I were able to hide from each other because we were messing with each other and causing each other to lose. And it was just really cool that they mixed it in that way.
Yeah, did a nice job of blending it into the storyline, the Halloween and that. Meltzer says Angle's been having some lower back problems. He was off the Jackson, Tennessee house show to get treatment for his back, and he's being taken off some house shows over the next few weeks to give him some time to heal. He's going to slightly ease up on his schedule next year since his first child is due in a little over a month. So you had so much going on, Kurt. You had been running hard for a long time. Was this the first time that you started to feel some lower back issues happening?
Yeah, ever since high school. I had some back problems in high school, but I didn't have any up until then, right at this moment. And, you know, the thing is with my back, you know, it was really painful. And what I want to tell you is, you know, breaking my neck 5 times, you know, it debilitates you where you can't do certain things, especially in your arms. You know, arms go numb and sometimes you lose strength in your arms, but your back controls everything. You can't do anything when your back's hurting. I'll give you an example. Randy Orton just had surgery, on his back. He literally couldn't do anything. And this surgery is actually hopefully saving his career. But that's how much back problems can affect you as a pro wrestler.
Yeah, so you're having these back issues now, and according to WWE's website, they said that you agreed to devote 100% efforts to the company on his 4 days a week on the road, but you're going to be home for 3 days every week. Angle has been on the road a lot, more than the usual 4 days, because he's so popular when it comes to public appearances, and he does so much promotional work for the company. I mean, even back then, a workhorse. He said he'll make his decisions in December about the Olympics, but I think the decision has already been made negatively. The company's booking plans are strongly in the direction of Angle as a main player for next year. Also, his saying that he'll be home 3 days a week seems to suggest not doing the Olympics because training for that would be a full-time job in Colorado Springs. You've talked about it before. Had you made a decision for the Olympics at this point, or was that all still up in the air?
It was still up in the air, and I just started training at this particular time 3 days a week. But what I was going to do in 2003 was take time off and train full-time for a year for the Olympics. WWE was going to give me a year off. And that never happened because, unfortunately, in 2003 at the beginning, I broke my neck again.
That's right. Speaking of making decisions, did you make the decision to go to GEICO.com yet? Do it. Let's talk about the promotional work, Kurt. We just read it from the WWE's website. You were doing a lot for the company, it says. How are you booked for those types of things? Is this through the office or what?
Well, you know, when you're a big star, you're going to be in high demand. So whether it's media or personal appearances, whatever it is, they're going to demand you over and over again. So you're going to be pretty damn busy. A lot of times you can refuse to do it and they'll have somebody else go. But for the most part, you should go. I mean, it's almost an underwritten rule that when they want you for an appearance, you got to do it. So I was pretty busy at this particular time.
And not only that, it's got to be another opportunity for you to make extra money doing all the appearances, right?
I'm laughing at you.
Oh, so it's not.
We didn't get paid for the appearances.
Oh, but I mean, we
got paid really well. The WWE took care of us, not just for the appearances on the back end. They made sure you were taken care of. So it worked out in the long run.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta think too that you would have had the mentality, hey, I want to be on the road as much as possible because, hey, I want to make as much money as possible. But the appearances were hey, this is kind of the expectation if you're going to be this level of main player on our roster. So I get that. Let's get to SmackDown November 7th. It's from Manchester, New Hampshire, and the tag title run ends already. It's a 2 out of 3 falls match with you and Benoit versus Edge and Mysterio. In our third clip of the week, we're going to get to the final fall of that 2 out of 3 falls match. It's SmackDown. It's November 7th, 2002. Here we go.
But speaking of guts, once again, another tag between Benoit and Angle to keep each other fresh. But speaking of guts, you got to give it to Mysterio. Look at the fight, Mysterio. He's trying to fight out of this. He's trying to kick out, at least to try to get Edge back in this match.
Kurt Angle and Chris Benoit are trying to show us Rey Mysterio's guts, if you know what I mean.
Oh, what a throw by Angle.
A different version of a gut wrench throw there.
Hook of the leg by Kurt Angle and Edge. May have saved the matchup for his team.
You think?
I think Edge sensed that may have been all for Rey Mysterio.
Edge is looking good on that apron. I think he might have a second win call right here. Kurt Angle, a weird gut wrench submission right here from over the top.
Come on.
And look at that. Look at Mysterio. I mean, all 4 of these men. The eyes, you can see it all in their eyes.
No quit in Rey Mysterio or Edge as Mysterio battles back with a shot to the ribs. Each team has won 1 fall. Look at Mysterio.
No, there's no quit. There's no quit.
Kurt Angle.
There's no quitting Angle and Chris Benoit neither.
And look at Edge. Edge wants in. 4 great competitors going at it for the tag team titles. Edge cannot wait to get in this matchup. But can Mysterio make it to his partner? Mysterio makes the tag and Edge climbing high.
And Edge is going to fly.
Edge off the top rope, knocking Angle down. Benoit planted. And a heel kick to the chin of Kurt Angle. And Edge starting to build momentum with the tag team titles up for grabs.
I think
the cover, new champions. No,
I'm telling you, Cole, Edge got a second wind in this matchup. Oh, look at this, maybe the ankle lock.
Edge has already tapped to the ankle lock once tonight. Will he do it a second time?
How much damage was done to Edge's ankle earlier?
Edge desperately crawling. And look at that great reversal. Angle into the second turnbuckle. 619 from the floor.
Out of nowhere.
For Mysterio. Edge to his feet.
Look at that. Edge is on the hop.
Spear. Hook of the leg.
Look at Benoit. Look at Benoit.
There's 2. Benoit hit his partner. Kurt Angle. Chris Benoit can't believe it. Drop kick by Mysterio.
There goes Benoit.
Can Edge take advantage? 2, 3, new tag team champions.
Here are your winners and the new WWE Tag Team Champions, Rey Mysterio and Edge.
History made right here tonight on SmackDown. Oh, new tag champ, Edge and Rey Mysterio.
And look at the elation in Edge and Rey Mysterio. How much did Mysterio and Edge want the tag team gold tonight?
All hot, all 4 men. Fabulous matchup off the hook.
I'm digging the Rob Zombie. So there it is, bud. You lose the titles. And Meltzer goes on to say Mysterio and Edge beat Angle and Benoit to win the tag titles in a match that went nearly 25 minutes. That makes sense, though. It's a 2 out of 3 falls match on TV. I mean, my goodness, what a great television match. Faces took fall 1 when Edge pinned Angle. Second fall saw Angle use the ankle lock on Edge. Third fall, they did a tease where Mysterio pinned Angle, but Angle made the ropes before the 3. They ended up restarting the match, since theoretically fans would figure that since they already got the fake win, that the belts weren't changing. But they did a Benoit and Angle screw up, leading to the finish with the belts changing hands. Kurt, were you surprised to see the title change hands and have them take off of you guys at this point?
No, because Chris and I weren't getting along. We weren't really coming together as a team. And not only that, but Edge and Rey, they needed credibility. They had credibility as singles wrestlers, but they didn't have credibility as tag team wrestlers. The Guerreros won the titles. We won the titles. Edge and Rey needed to win the titles. And then at Survivor Series, the big winner would end up winning, which was us again. So I understand why they did it. They wanted to give Edge and Rey Mysterio credibility, and it did.
Well, do you own your own home? Go to GEICO.com. Do you rent your own home? Go to GEICO.com. Do you have a car? You need to go to GEICO.com. Want to save yourself some money? Go to GEICO.com. It's true. It's damn true. Kurt, was this a last-minute type of change of on creative, or a creative shift? It seems like out of nowhere, though, for this to happen. Again, this is a television taping.
I don't know. I don't know if it was last second, but, I thought it was a great idea to give them credibility. I totally understand why they did it, because Chris and I weren't getting along. I think the story we needed to tell was that we weren't working cohesively as a tag team, and that made us inconsistent. And that was the message that we sent.
Well, listen, the week after, it's the Go Home Smackdown. It's in Columbus, and we have a funny clip here to show you guys. It's you and Benoit backstage blaming each other for the loss, and this is another classic from the Kurt archives. Here we go.
I can't believe what you did last night. You know, Benoit, it's all your fault. It's all your fault we lost the tag team titles last week.
My fault?
Yeah.
My fault?
Oh, yeah.
You are the one that got pinned twice in the same fall. Now, do you want to tell me how the hell you managed to do that? Huh? Justify yourself. Tell me.
Don't change the subject, Benoit. The fact is, I hate your guts. Yes, I do. But you know something? I love being a champion, and you screwed that up for me. So tonight, I'm going to take all my aggressions out on you.
Take all my aggressions out on you. Let me remind you something, Kurt. The last 2 times we fought, I beat you. 1, 2, 3.
You watch your mouth, young man. Don't forget who the team captain is, me.
I apologize. You are the team captain. I beat the team captain twice. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah? Well, I have more teeth than you.
Well, I have more hair than you.
Well, I'm better than you.
I'm better than you.
Well, I'm 10 times better than you.
I'm 11 times better than you.
Well, I'm an Olympic gold medalist. Huh? I thought so. And tonight, I'm gonna prove, Benoit, that I am better than you.
Well, they call me the Rabbit Wolverine. And tonight, Kurt Angle, I am gonna prove you wrong. Olympic gold medalist.
What?
These partners wrestle tonight.
Kurt, is there anybody else that you enjoy seeing more on TV than yourself?
And myself. I crack myself up.
You do. I watch it every week. It's worth it. I'm telling you. Watch us on YouTube, guys. It's worth the price of admission. So listen, there we go. Then we have you versus Benoit. It's going to happen later on in the show.
Again.
Yep. And Meltzer says, Angle, no contest, Benoit, when Guerreros and Edge and Mysterio all come out. Very good match, but a lot of mat work that the live crowd just didn't get into. Angle and Benoit made up after the post-match, and they shook hands. So, Kurt, you do have, at this point in time, the Kurt Angle Classic coming up. How did this all come to be? I know we've talked about it on past shows, but this fits right now because of the timeline of the stories that we're telling. And why did you want to put this all together?
Well, I wanted to build my brand and give back to the amateur wrestling community. I decided to have a dual meet, USA's Best versus the world's best. And not only that, but make it like a mini Arnold Classic. Arnold Classic has like 45 sports there. It's a great spread out. So we were going to have 4 sports: bodybuilding, weightlifting or powerlifting, wrestling, and we're going to have the military compete against each other: Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. And we did this, and it was a great turnout. It was a great show that we were able to put on. USA beat the world team, which was awesome. So it was a great show.
So Dave Meltzer had some things that he put in the Observer about it, and here we go. The Japanese papers covered IWGP champ Yuji Nagata and Lesnar both in New Orleans with Kurt Angle. Brad Riggins, former pro wrestler and later a trainer for some of the New Japan guys, and Roland Gardner at the Kurt Angle Classic on November 8th. Quite a collection of wrestlers, as Nagata was a multiple-time college champion, as was Kurt, because we got to make sure we throw that in. Lesnar took 1 college title, and Brad Riggins took the Division II title. Angle was interviewed at the Kurt Angle Classic about his pro wrestling career and his thoughts on returning. He said that when they did the Smackdown show in Colorado Springs, and when he went to the Olympic Training Center and wrestled with the current top wrestling stars, he realized he was in no shape to compete against that level of competition after 6 years off. He said it's amazing how much farther the top-level technique in wrestling has progressed since 1996. He said he remembered how much it progressed from 1988 when he started wrestling at the national level to 1996 when he retired after the gold medal. He said he almost felt like a fossil training with the current guys, but he was able to get some offense on them using some old-school techniques just because they weren't used to defending them. When asked about a comeback, he said he'll ultimately decide in January, but if he had to make the decision now, it would be a no. He said he's got a back problem and his knee is banged up pretty bad. And like you said, buddy, the neck all but shored that up for you.
Yeah, you know what? It was tough. I mean, I went there to the Olympic Training Center and I got my ass handed to me. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you.
Right.
Being out for 6 years, you're going to be rusty. And this is I started training about a month before this, but it wasn't enough training to go in there and face the top guys in the world at this particular time. So, I started doubting about trying out for the Olympics, but I still wanted to make it possible. As long as my back would heal, my knee would heal, I wanted to follow through with it. And I kept my goals realistic. I didn't say that I was going to make the Olympic team. I wanted to place in the top 3 on the Olympic team. I wanted to prove to myself that I was still competitive. Now, if I would have made the Olympic team, great, and won a gold medal, even better. But what I want to do is prove to myself I was still one of the top guys.
Tell us about your trip to the Olympic Training Center. What was that like, the whole trip and experience there?
Oh, it was so much fun. Going back there and the memories I had, the food there is incredible. They have a cafeteria. You get whatever you want. The training facilities are second to none, best in the world. And I had a lot of fun. And you know what? This is the time when I ended up getting Bobby Lashley a tryout with the WWE. This is where I met him. And he ended up going to the WWE and trying out right after the Olympic trials. And he actually made it. And now you have Bobby Lashley, one of the top guys in the WWE.
Isn't it so cool to see how life works itself out like that? Meltzer said, Angle said if everything heals up 100% by January, he wants to try, but the way he feels now, he probably won't do it. He said he thinks wrestling, because of how physical it is, it would be a lot harder to make a comeback than in most sports. He said he'd have to compete with people who are younger, stronger, and have perfected new techniques that he's never seen before. He said the injury risk, if he were to return, would also be high. He said if he were to return in January, he wouldn't compete until May and just wants to finish in the top 8. That's kind of what you were talking about now. He said if people think he'll come back and win every tournament, they're being unrealistic. He wants to make the top 3 by a second tournament. You just said that. He said if he comes back and by 2004 only places 6th at Nationals, he'll be happy because you know what? He tried. And Kurt, and you're a fighter, bro. He said he's learned in wrestling that it's not important what moves you do, but how long you can survive and have consistency and longevity. He said when he finally wrestles Brock Lesnar, and he hinted about it being at WrestleMania, that it would be a dream match like Rock versus Austin and Hogan versus Andre, but that his match would be a much better match than those two.
I can't believe I said that.
Were you told at this point that it was going to be, though, you and Brock at WrestleMania?
Yes.
Back in the
It was
fall,
me
you
and
knew
Brock,
that Survivor
no
Series?
doubts about it. Yeah, Brock was having a great first year, his rookie year, and they were building it up. They were doing different pre-tapes where we would walk by each other and say some smart-ass comments to each other, and it was a nice slow build-up up until WrestleMania.
Ladies and gentlemen, GEICO asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. After all, who doesn't love a great deal, right? And when it comes to great rates on insurance for all the things in your life, GEICO can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV, even help with homeowners, condo, or renter's insurance coverage. You could save even more with a special discount when you bundle your coverages. That's the key. You want to bundle them. Plus, add the easy-to-use GEICO mobile app, which is available and gives you access to 24-hour roadside assistance and much, much more. And choosing to switch to GEICO becomes the easy choice. Switch today, and you'll see all the ways you can save with great rates and discounts. It's easy. You simply go to geico.com to get a rate quote or contact your local agent and get started seeing how much you could save. What's not to like about it? All you got to do is go to geico.com, answer some questions, and you can see how much you can save. Thank you, GEICO, for sponsoring this episode of the Kurt Angle Show. Kurt, we move on. It's Ohio Valley Wrestling. Oh, man, those got to bring back some memories. And clip 5 of this week, it's you with your brother, Eric. He's in your corner versus Damaja, later would be known as Danny Basham, on Ohio Valley Wrestling. This is November 16th, still here in 2002. Let's check out that match.
Nails him to the right again. Damage is staggered. Another right hand by Kurt Angle. Angle sends his man across the clothesline. My God, Kurt Angle's got a second win. Damage is being rocked. Angle sends his man across, goes to the backdrop, but he telegraphed it. Damage with a boot. Oh, wait a minute. Kurt, he grabs him belly-to-belly overhead throw. My God, this could be it. 2, and no. Damage in the nick of time pulled his way out, Dean.
And right now, Damage is staggering back to his feet. You can see the tide turning ever so slightly. One big Angle fist after another. Briscoe trying to get him out of the corner. Irish whip into the corner. Angle follows and catches the boot of the Damager for his trouble.
Oh, yeah, Angle ate that boot. Now Damage goes to the clothesline. Wait a minute. Angle behind. There's a German suplex. And now Kurt holding on. He's going to German him again. There's another German suplex. Now, oh, wait a minute. There's the Revolution.
From behind.
The Revolution jumped Eric Angle. The Revolution on Eric Angle on the floor. Kurt Angle trying a third German suplex. Oh, did you see that?
Low blow.
Damage went to the groin. Damage a mule kick. Kurt Angle right in the groin. And now the Revolution on Eric Angle on the floor. But look in the ring. Damage going for that brain damage. My God, he's trapped him. Oh, he went for it. Kurt rolled through. Kurt's got the ankle lock. Kurt Angle has that ankle lock. My God, will Damage a tap. Will Damage a tap. Wait a minute, there's Jackie on the apron. Oh, Damage, you got the ropes. And there's Jackie on the apron of the ring. Wait a minute. Kurt went to hit Jackie, but he thought it was a guy. Can't hit a girl. Eric Angle has freed himself, but in the ring, Kurt Angle going for the Olympic slam. There's Basham on the apron. Kurt nails Basham. Damage.
He got it on him.
God, that's going to be it. 2. But no.
Wow.
2. What?
Wow.
Just a 2. Eric Angle with the baseball bat down here on the floor has routed the Revolution. The Revolution has once again returned to the locker room. But the Damager screaming at Briscoe. It was so close. Kurt Angle rolled that shoulder in the nick of time. Folks, we're running low on time, but we're going to stay with this to the conclusion. Damager going to the top. Kurt Angle is dizzy. Kurt Angle's disoriented. Damage is going to come off. My God, this... Oh, wait a minute. Kurt Angle. Angle slam. Angle slam off the top. Did he capitalize? Kurt Angle crawling to the Damager. He hooks the leg, too. He got it. Kurt Angle has done it. What a hell of a match. Give the devil his due. The Damager hung with an Olympic gold medalist. Maybe the greatest pro wrestler alive today. Damager proved his ability, even his courage. But in the end, Kurt Angle has triumphed. The Angle brothers standing triumphant in the OVW ring. Is this the beginning of a family dynasty in this sport? Folks, we're out of time. We'll see you next week.
Man, if you can't tell you and your brother are brothers, then you're blind. I'm telling you.
We look
My
exactly alike.
My goodness. So listen, this is what Meltzer had to say about this. He said, I saw the November 16th TV show. It was a taping from the 13th, and it's amazing how much better OVW is than Raw. Leviathan, what's that?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, exactly. Leviathan, who we would come to know as Batista, came across as a superstar on the show, and Kurt Angle came across as big as he does on SmackDown. I was really impressed with Angle on a different dimension because he's a big name with a lot of injuries, working in front of 400 people in a little garage, and he did a 4-star match with Damaja. The bout was way better than his TV match with Eddie on SmackDown. Angle won clean with an angle slam off the middle ropes, and Damaja got over more by losing than he did winning any of his previous bouts. Angle did mic work before the match that brought him into the storyline as opposed to being a guest star just beating up the local talent. Angle also sold more than 50% of the match. Angle worked face style, but the crowd loves the chant, "You suck so much, it's weird." Angle was cheered and even got something of a standing ovation from the same people chanting "You suck" when he came out. So Kurt, talk to us. What was it like wrestling and in OVW versus maybe WWE at the time?
Well, the crowd is a lot smaller.
I mean, besides the obvious. Yeah.
No. OVW is more old school. You know, they do a lot of old school storylines, old school finishes. I believe Jim Cornette might have been.
Oh, that was Jim Cornette, buddy, on the commentary.
It has Jim Cornette written all over it, which is good. That's good. But WWE is a little bit different. Vince liked to do a little more outlandish stuff. And,
entertainment.
More entertainment packed. Yes, definitely.
Yeah. How did it feel working with Damaja, who eventually, like I said, became Danny Basham? How'd you like working with him there?
Oh, I loved working with him. He's a great wrestler. Now, he had more success as a tag team because he went with the Basham brothers. But he was a great singles wrestler, too. I really enjoyed working with him.
Did you forget yet? Come on. GEICO.com. We're now at the Garden for Survivor Series, buddy. We move on from OVW. It's November 17th as you and Benoit look to reclaim the tag titles. And by the way, at this show, Shawn Michaels becomes the world champion. He wins that Elimination Chamber match. And then Brock loses his first match on WWE TV. He loses the WWE title to Big Show after Heyman turns on Lesnar and screws him to align with the Big Show, which, by the way, that's important for next month's pay-per-view Armageddon, which we're going to be looking at in December. Were you surprised, though, here, Kurt, to see Brock lose, or did you think that needed to be saved for an even bigger show?
I was surprised. I'm not surprised it was Big Show because Big Show could beat anybody, and him having Paul Heyman with him, obviously that was a tie-in to Brock. But I would have waited. Brock was having an incredible year. You know, he won the world title like within a few months in the business. And he was having a stellar career. I would have had him go undefeated all the way to WrestleMania 19. And obviously, you know who's going to beat him, right? Me.
I knew. Yeah. That's where you're headed, buddy. I'm sure it was.
In my defense, I was supposed to beat Brock at WrestleMania 19, but I broke my neck beforehand, so they had to change the finish. But I think that Brock should have carried that title into WrestleMania, and that's when I should have won the title from Brock.
That would have been amazing. Whether you own or rent, GEICO makes it easy to bundle your home and car insurance, so go to geico.com today. Kurt, we start with a clip which shows three things. It's you and Benoit backstage before the tag team title match. This is our final clip of the week. You and Benoit's involvement in the match, and then the ending. Here we go. It's Survivor Series, the clip. You ready? Let's check it out.
Did you see that? Did you see that? Benoit, did you see that? If Billy freaking Kidman can win the Cruiserweight title here at Survivor Series, then there's no doubt in my mind that you and I can win back the WWE Tag Team titles. That's if you can stay out of the team captain's way.
What? What? You want to repeat yourself? I don't think I heard you. What? Say it again. You got something to say? Say it again. What'd you say? Huh?
Oh, no, Benoit. I see what you're trying to do. I'm not gonna fall for it. See, you and I, we're a team, buddy. A unit. Amigos. Partners. Bosom buddies. Friends to the end. And when you and I are together, there is no one, and I mean no one, who can beat us. So what do you say, partner? I'm not gonna shake your hand. Tag team partners don't shake hands. Tag team partners got a hug. Come here. We're gonna get him tonight, buddy. Let's get tough.
Well, watch out, Eddie's coming in.
Mysterio.
Oh my God!
Oh my! Both men wiping out over the top rope.
Spear time! Spear time! Who's gonna eat it? Angle and Benoit!
Oh, and a drop toe over the angle. Into the crossface in the ankle lock.
Talk about a cohesive unit, man!
How the hell can Edge not tap out to this?
That was awesome!
And Rey Mysterio takes out Angle. And then the drop kick to the back of Benoit. Mysterio twice saving his partner Edge and the tag titles.
You saved him, right? That was almost the end of Edge.
And look at, that was Chavo pulling Kurt Angle out of the ring. Dude going at it right in front of us.
Oh, look at Rey, look at Rey!
Oh, and a corkscrew over the top rope.
Right in front of us, 3 bodies.
Meanwhile in the ring, it's Benoit and Edge. Apparently still illegal man. And a German suplex. Arms locked around the waist of Edge.
Latino Heat's coming to top, Cole.
Eddie Guerrero.
Sunset flip, check it out.
Trying to roll in. A German whose shoulders are down. And a double kick out. I think both men's shoulders were down.
That was awesome.
Would Guerrero eliminated both men on that?
I don't know. I really don't know.
Oh, look at Benoit.
These 2 guys are former running buddies here.
Eddie Guerrero suplexed over the top rope, his head hitting the apron.
Again right in front of us. Edge and Benoit is that down German that Benoit wanted.
Another German suplex.
Wow.
And another one. And Edge's marbles have got to be scrambled here.
Another one. Great technique by the Rabbit Wolverine on those German suplexes. And Benoit saying, turn out the lights, the party is over.
Chris Benoit heading to the top rope and looking on the other side. Eddie, front splash. He's going to try to take advantage. And Benoit with a shot to the back of the head.
Angle's in the house. Angle slam.
Eddie Guerrero, the angle slam action is fast and furious.
Traps it down, ankle lock.
Face on Edge. Ankle lock on Eddie. Who is going to tap?
Angle Benoit in a great spot right now.
Chavo with the championship to the back of the head of Benoit.
Ref is trying to get Angle off that ankle lock of Guerrero.
Oh, look out. Angle with a right hand to Chavo, who just tossed the championship to Kurt Angle. Angle better get rid of that.
You ain't kidding, that referee by...
Oh, wait.
Oh, no.
Wait a minute.
Don't tell me Benoit thinks that Angle...
I think Benoit thinks that Angle hit him with the championship. Mysterio with a drop kick to Benoit and Angle.
Well, dissension in the ranks between Angle and Benoit, and Mysterio didn't want to handle draw jacking.
Uh-oh. Look at this. Baseball slide. There goes Chavo.
Oh, that was sweet.
Edge is up in the ring.
Edge's shoulder from those German suplexes.
Went for the execution.
Switch. Spear.
Plant Benoit.
That's it. Got him. Got him.
Benoit and Angle have been eliminated. We are down to Edge and Mysterio versus Los Guerreros. And going perhaps for the West Coast pop.
Oh, yeah. Mysterio signal for the West Coast.
And Chavo with a championship to the back.
Oh, Mysterio got popped all right.
Edge with a baseball slide to Chavo.
God. Edge is just wearing out Chavo right in front of us. Lasso from El Paso.
This is a submission maneuver. Eddie has it locked in to Rey Mysterio.
Wow, he's got it in tight. Got it in
And
tight.
Mysterio taps out. The Guerreros are tag team champions.
Here are your winners and the new WWE Tag Team Champions, Chavo and Eddie Guerrero.
Right here in Madison Square Garden Survivor Series, Cole. We got new tag team champions, Los Guerreros.
There you go, Kurt. Los Guerreros win the belts there in Madison Square Garden. What'd you think?
Oh, I thought the match was awesome. I know there were a lot of mishaps in the match, but I thought overall it was a great match.
Yeah, Meltzer said Los Guerreros won the SmackDown tag titles in the three-way over Angle and Benoit and the champions Mysterio and Edge in 19 minutes, 25 seconds. He said this match was actually a disappointment, although what would have been considered really good if anyone else had the match. That's interesting. Mysterio missed the spot where he's thrown in the air and lands on the top rope and fell badly. They got heat on Mysterio until an Angle slam attempt, which Mysterio arm dragged his way out of. The early storyline is that the Guerreros weren't in much, so the other two teams were wearing each other out. But, man, we saw what happened there at the end with the Guerreros winning. He did give the match 3.5 stars. So I got to ask her, when Rey falls badly early on in this match, were you worried that this could potentially mess up the whole match?
No. Listen, the fans are forgiving. If one spot goes badly, especially Rey, think about the chances he takes every time he does these certain spots. I mean, the degree of error has to be really high, and he almost always lands it. And this one particular night, he doesn't do it. That's okay. Sometimes people mess up in real competition and in sports entertainment. So it didn't really hurt the match at all. As a matter of fact, it was actually a pretty cool spot. He looked like he wiped out pretty badly.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, I think the Edge and Eddie spots where they were flubbing a little bit is probably what affected the match a little bit, but not too much. I mean, we still got 3.5 stars. It wasn't our best match ever, but it was still a really good match, a strong, solid match.
And it's hard to imagine Meltzer saying this was a disappointment because, man, I don't know how you live up to the standards of all the matches that happened between you six up until this point. So, anytime that you guys, just what we saw there in that short clip, there were some amazing exchanges and counter moves. Yeah. Right. How did it feel, though, being back in Madison Square Garden? What a special place for wrestling. And this is the first
place. It's the Mecca. It's the granddaddy of them all. It's where WWE started. And you're expected to be at your very best when you go to Madison Square Garden. Vince McMahon didn't want anything less than that. So you had to give out everything that you could possibly have. You have to give it in this match, especially at Madison Square Garden.
And, buddy, listen, this is the first time that you're back in MSG on pay-per-view, the last since Taz, when you would lose to him again. Royal Rumble
illegal
2000.
choke. It was an illegal choke.
Oh, the illegal choke. Legal choke. There you go. If you didn't go yet, go to GEICO.com. Then, man, I tell you what, you don't like to save money. I mean, come on. This is the last time you're going to hear it on this show. Go to GEICO.com and be eternally grateful that you did. Well, Kurt, we're here. This is my one of my favorite pieces of the show, favorite parts of the show. It's the fan questions, and we want to hear what they have on their minds. So we're going to throw them at you, Kurt. First, Joey, the Toriyama guy, he said, do you wish you continued to tag with Chris longer, or was this pretty much the end of the run for you guys? Did you wish you could have gone, gone
No, I do wish we could have tagged longer. I enjoyed tagging with Chris. I just thought that, what happens if we actually get along and tag team together? We could have had a nice long tag team run for a year or 2 years. The thing was, we weren't getting along very much, and that was the story behind it. That's why we lost. So I do understand why they did it, but I would have loved to tag with Chris a lot longer. And don't forget, it takes me away from the world title, which I'm always around when I'm not competing for any other title. I'm always in the world title hunt, and it gives you a break so that you're not as stale.
That's right. Keeps you fresh. And you said that, the story was you weren't getting along, but that was just story alone. You guys are backstage, still buddies, and everything's fine and all that good stuff.
So you think.
Well, breaking news right here on the Kurt Angle Show. So what was...
I'm kidding.
Oh, come on, Kurt. I was excited.
No, Chris and I got along well.
Jeremy Priest is up next. What are your thoughts on tag champs having to face each other?
I don't like
champs.
Okay. I don't think tag team champs should face each other unless it's like a tournament for the world championship. The tag team partners end up meeting in the brackets. But other than that, I mean, wrestling each other, it's useless. There's no reason for it. And it's not helping your tag team out any.
There you go. Brad Stanton's up next. He says, Kurt, even in your best shape, was Benoit hard to keep up with?
Wait a minute.
Wow, Brad.
How about even in Benoit's best shape? Was it hard for him to keep up with me? Come on, I'm the Olympic gold medalist. I'm the one that had the endless fuel tank, not Benoit. Benoit was intense, okay? He was really intense. but he wasn't as in shape as I was. Okay, I'm not bragging about that, and I'm not complaining. I'm just telling you the truth.
Hey, listen, here's the good news, Kurt. I know exactly who Brad Stanton is. He was at Top Guy Weekend. When you're at Top Guy Weekend next year, when we're there
Punch him in
together,
the face.
I will point him out to you. You can punch him in the face, put him in the ankle lock, make him squeal like a
Wait till I
piggy.
see you, Brad.
Yeah, we're coming in hot. I can't wait. That's good stuff. I love Brad. Hazard F5. He's back. He says, Kurt, the ruthless, or as you called it, toothless aggression era was my favorite time in WWE. I love that line, by the way. The in-ring product was at its peak at this point. Would you have liked to have stayed tagging for a while, as you seem to be having a lot of fun with the tag dynamic with Benoit, or did you see being in a tag team as a step backwards?
Never a step backward. If anything, it's a step forward. And like I said before, it takes you away from the world title for a little bit of time. And that you get to regroup and refresh and then go back for the world title again. And the fans don't think you're always hogging the world title. I mean, I'll give you an example. Like John Cena was always around the world title.
Yeah.
It was like left and right, up and down. He was just, he was the world title. He won 16 of them. And I think that gets a little stale after a while.
Yeah. Yep. Two count. Kyle, our buddy, says, Kurt, who reminds you the most of Benoit in terms of in-ring style with the current product? Who is the closest to that technical and hard-hitting style to you? And who would make the best opponent for Chris if he were still here in the game in 2022? So let's start with the first one. Who reminds you the most of Benoit in terms of the in-ring style with the current product?
Right now, we just interviewed him, Josh Alexander.
There you go.
Very technical, very intense, great wrestler, great in-ring skills. He reminds me a lot of Benoit.
And his follow-up, I think it's right there too. Who is the closest to that technical and hard-hitting style to you? Josh again. I mean, he mirrors himself
Josh,
after you.
Josh, you know what? And the crazy thing is, he's Canadian too, just like Chris.
Yeah.
And they remind me of each other so much.
Yeah, and then he said closest to you. So I think, Josh has really, and if you guys haven't checked it out yet, go back and listen to that interview. We're getting all kinds of kudos on that one. Scott D'Amore, even himself from Impact Wrestling, reached out to say great show. So check that one out. But man, he really loved being on the show. And I could see that. And then he said, who would make the best opponent for Chris? If he were still here in 22, you got to think, what? Seeing Josh and Chris face off would be fun, right?
Oh man, I would pay.
Kurt would pay money.
Yeah.
I
would pay good money to see that match. That would be an incredible match. And it's not going to be a short one either. It's going to be a long one. I mean, Josh has done an Iron Man match, and so has Chris.
Yeah. That would be a lot of fun. Final question this week comes to us from our pal, Yambag Jones. Did Kurt ever get busted open from Rey's giant knee braces? Those things look deadly, dude.
Yes, he was doing a Hurricanrana from the top rope, and when he put his legs to wrap around my shoulders, when he jumped off, his brace hit my head. I got 12 stitches in my head right up here. So he did get me one time, and I was pretty pissed off about it. I was like, why aren't you wearing any pads? You have these knee braces on, and they're metal showing. Like, what the hell's wrong with you, man?
There you go. Well, listen, Kurt, next week, it's your 5-on-5 Survivor Series 2017 match between Team Raw. This is you, Big Braun Strowman, Finn Balor, Samoa Joe, and Triple H. That's right, the man himself, taking on Team Smackdown. We got Shane O'Mac, Randy Orton, Bobby Roode. Man, these guys are all buddies of yours. Shinsuke Nakamura and John Cena. I can't wait to jump into Survivor Series 2017, bud.
Me neither, man. It's going to be a great one.
Can't wait for that one. Listen, over at adfreeshows.com right now, you get 14 podcasts early and ad-free for as low as $9 a month. But there's also a ton of bonus content and experiences. I just talked about it. Kurt and I, we're going to sit down together to watch he and Jay Lethal from 2007 when Jay takes care of business and defeats Kurt Angle. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And Kurt's he doesn't know this yet, but man, I'm going to have him do kind of like a play-by-play on that match of what's going on in the ring. It's going to be fun. We're going to record that this week. And by the way, Ad Free Shows just launched a brand new series called The Book. And that's a month-by-month journey through the actual handwritten booking logs from Jim Crockett Promotions and World Class with both David Crockett and David Manning. And then Ask Conrad 48 just dropped. You want to check that out, and so many more things that you can be a part of. So check it out, adfreeshows.com. By the way, support Dr. Tom Pritchard. He's our buddy. He helped train Kurt. He's been spending over 40 years in professional wrestling, training the next generation of wrestlers. You can go to jpwrestlingacademy.com if you are looking for a great head trainer and a school to become an up-and-coming wrestler in the business. You can't get any better than Dr. Tom. Ask Kurt, ask Natalia Neihart, ask so many in the business today, right?
Yes, sir. Tom's the best. Yes, he is.
There you go. And if you want to follow along for us, you can check us out on social. You can follow him at Real Kurt Angle, myself at Paulie with a YB. Well, yes, I'm back on Twitter, or the show at The Angle Pod, Instagram, The Angle Pod, The Real Kurt Angle. You got to put the in front of there, and at Paulie B. Well. And if you want to follow Kurt to watch some crazy ass videos on Facebook, you can watch him on Facebook. There's all kinds of viral videos Kurt's posting over there. And so check it out. But I'm telling you, the best place to see all of this is the YouTube channel, youtube.com/The Angle Pod. You get to watch his face react to the awesome clips that we watch every week. And it's priceless in my estimation. So check it out.
You son of a bitch.
Tell him about physicallyfit.com, Kurt.
All right, physicallyfit.com. We have chicken snacks and Snack Smart crispy protein bites. One's chicken protein, one's organic plant protein. There are 11 different flavors. We got honey mustard. We got cheese pizza. We got buffalo wing and blue cheese. Cinnamon swirl is a lot of people's favorites. But you can go to physicallyfit.com, use the code AnglePod, and you get 20% off your first order. Or you can become a lifetime member on the website and get 20% off forever. These are delicious. You're going to absolutely love them. And you will help my business grow. Thank you.
We're all about helping Kurt Angle's business grow. And you know what? He has provided us so many years of entertainment. And, man, just the nicest guy at meet and greets. And just support him, man. He's going to be down at WrestleCade Thanksgiving weekend that Saturday, signing autographs and taking pictures. Kurt, listen, they can also go to KurtAngleBrand.com and support you over there. T-shirts, cowboy hats, milk cartons, cameo videos, where every video
birthday cards too.
I know you love them birthday cards, but every cameo video ends with "It's true, it's damn true."
Every one of them.
Every one of them.
Ended it with "It's true."
No, he hasn't. Trust me. Every one of them I see record. It's the tagline on all of them. But he sends a lot of other fun stuff before that. So take advantage of those cameo videos. By the way, guys, as we wrap up this week's show, we want to say on behalf of Kurt Angle and myself, happy Thanksgiving to our friends and listeners in the U.S. We hope you enjoy some time with your families and friends around the turkey and enjoy some football. But really, just take this opportunity to spend some time with the people you love and disconnect from all the nonsense in this world. And on behalf of our show, we really hope you enjoy it. Kurt, any final words from you before we get out of here this week?
No, just happy Thanksgiving to everybody, and we'll see you the following week.
There you go. On behalf of your Olympic hero, Kurt Angle, this is Paul Bromwell. We'll see you right back here next week talking all things Survivor Series 2017 right here on The Kurt Angle Show.